Welcome back. As the seasons shift and the first hints of winter begin to appear, there's a sense of excitement and curiosity in the air. Across Europe, people are pulling out their warmest coats, lighting fires, and preparing for the months ahead. But what exactly does this winter have in store for us? The days are getting noticeably shorter, and a crisp chill settles over city streets and countryside alike. All around, conversations turn to the coming winter. Will it be harsh and snowy or mild and rainy? The question on everyone's mind: what will winter 2025 to 2026 bring to Europe? Will it be a season to remember, or one that quietly passes by? Imagine strolling through a bustling German Christmas market, snowflakes drifting down onto glowing lights and festive stalls. Or perhaps, like last year, we'll see rain-soaked cobblestones and unseasonably warm evenings. The anticipation is real, and the possibilities are endless. Each year brings its own surprises, and this winter is shaping up to be no different. Of course, predicting the weather months in advance is never easy. Meteorologists face a complex puzzle, piecing together clues from around the globe. But even with all the uncertainty, we do have some big climate signals to guide us. We look at global patterns, like the temperature of the Pacific Ocean, the strength of the jet stream, and the pressure systems over the Arctic. These factors can have a huge influence on Europe's winter, shaping everything from snowfall in the Alps to rain in the British Isles. By analyzing these patterns, experts can offer an early glimpse of what's ahead. Early signs suggest that this winter could be especially dynamic and unpredictable. Some regions may experience dramatic swings between cold snaps and milder spells, while others could see persistent rain or even heavy snow. The contrasts across the continent are likely to be striking, with each area facing its own unique challenges and surprises. In the mountains, classic winter scenes with deep snow and icy winds may return, delighting skiers and winter sports fans. Meanwhile, lowland cities might deal with more rain, fog, and occasional bursts of warmth. No matter where you are, it's wise to be prepared for anything. In this video, we'll break down the major climate players shaping Europe's winter, take a virtual tour across the continent, and highlight the wild cards, like sudden stratospheric warming or unexpected shifts in ocean currents that could shake things up at the last minute. So grab a warm drink, settle in by the window, and join us as we dive deep into Europe's winter forecast. Whether you're hoping for snow, sun, or something in between, we'll help you get ready for whatever this season has in store. Let's start with La Niña, one of the most influential forces shaping our planet's weather patterns. You might have heard the name before, but what exactly is La Niña? And why does it matter so much for Europe and the rest of the world? La Niña is a major global weather driver capable of shifting the balance of weather systems across continents. It's not just a local event, it's a phenomenon with worldwide reach, affecting everything from rainfall in Asia to hurricanes in the Atlantic, and of course the winters in Europe. During a La Niña event, cooler than average waters develop in the central and eastern Pacific Ocean, especially near the coast of South America. This cool patch of ocean water might seem small on a global scale, but it has a powerful effect. It shifts the position of the jet stream, a fast-moving river of air high above the Earth, which in turn changes weather patterns all around the globe. For Europe, this means the usual mild, moist Atlantic winds that bring gentle winters can be blocked or diverted. Instead of the familiar damp and relatively warm winter, the continent can be exposed to much colder and drier air masses. The result? Colder air from the north or east can sweep across both southern and northern Europe, leading to a higher risk of cold snaps, icy conditions, and even heavy snowfall. Cities that are used to milder winters might suddenly find themselves blanketed in snow or facing biting winds. Looking ahead to winter 2025 to 2026, meteorologists are closely watching the development of a strong La Niña phase. Computer models and climate forecasts suggest that this could be one of the most significant La Niña events in recent years, an important clue for what Europe might expect. Historically, strong La Niña years have often brought a higher chance of cold snaps, snowstorms, and prolonged periods of chilly weather to Europe. But it's important to remember that La Niña is just one piece of the puzzle. While La Niña sets the stage for a colder, more unpredictable winter, there's another key player, the polar vortex. This swirling mass of cold air high above the Arctic can dramatically influence how severe or mild Europe's winter will actually be. The interplay between La Niña and the polar vortex is what truly shapes the winter season. Sometimes they work together to unleash bitter cold and snow, while other times, their effects can cancel each other out, leading to milder conditions. So, what exactly is the polar vortex, and why does it matter so much for Europe's winter weather? Understanding this wild card is crucial to predicting what's ahead. Up next, we'll break down the mysteries of the polar vortex and reveal how it could make or break Europe's winter in the months to come. Stay tuned. The polar vortex. Sounds dramatic, but it's a real force in winter weather. It's a swirling mass of cold air over the North Pole, usually locked up tight. When it's strong, Europe gets milder, wetter winters. But if it weakens or splits, Arctic air can spill south, bringing deep freezes and snow. This is when you hear about the beast from the east. Predicting its behavior is tough, but a La Niña winter increases the odds of a wobbly vortex. If both align, Europe could see memorable cold snaps. The big question, will the vortex hold, or will it unleash true Arctic cold? That's what we'll be watching as winter approaches. Now let's see how these patterns play out across Europe. Starting in Western Europe, UK, Ireland, France, Benelux, Atlantic weather usually rules. This year, La Niña could block the usual mild, wet flow, leading to more dramatic swings. Expect a tug-of-war one week, classic wind and rain, the next, a sudden cold snap. London, Dublin, Paris, get ready for a winter of contrasts. Snow is always tricky here, but a disrupted polar vortex could bring a rare, memorable snow event. Watch for sea-effect snow if cold air sweeps over the North Sea. Bottom line, keep your rain gear and winter coat handy. Temperatures may average out, but the ride will be anything but smooth. Western Europe should prepare for surprises. This winter won't be dull. Stay alert for sudden weather shifts. Let's head north. Scandinavia, Norway, Sweden, Finland, Denmark knows winter, but this year could be a throwback. La Niña and a weaker polar vortex favor colder, snowier conditions. Expect persistent cold from the north and east with more days below freezing. Oslo, Stockholm, Helsinki, get ready for deep snow and lasting cold, especially inland. Coastal Norway may see heavy snow when cold air meets Atlantic moisture. Denmark could swing between cold snaps and milder spells, but overall, expect a chillier season. Ski resorts and winter sports fans, this could be your year. Prepare for a robust, classic winter. Scandinavia is set for a season to remember. Now, let's move to Central and Eastern Europe. Central and Eastern Europe, Germany, Poland, Austria, Czechia, Ukraine, are the battleground for winter's fiercest fights. La Niña and a weak polar vortex could open the door for Siberian air to surge west. Expect deep freezes and powdery snow, especially during Beast from the East events. But the Atlantic will still try to push in milder air, setting up major snowstorms when the two collide. Berlin, Warsaw, Prague, prepare for temperature roller coasters and disruptive storms. The Alps could see one of their best ski seasons in years, with frequent snow and cold. Cities on the plains will face wild swings, but the mountains will thrive. Preparation is key. This winter demands respect. Central and Eastern Europe should brace for a dramatic season. Next, the Mediterranean. The Mediterranean, think Spain, Portugal, Italy, Greece, and the sun-drenched coasts of southern France, has long been famous for its gentle winters. While much of Europe shivers under icy winds and snow, these regions typically enjoy milder temperatures, with locals and visitors alike strolling through historic streets in light jackets even in the heart of winter. The air is crisp but rarely biting, and the days, though shorter, often bring a soft golden light unique to this part of the world. But this year there's a twist in the forecast. Thanks to the influence of La Niña, a climate pattern that shifts global weather, meteorologists are predicting a wetter-than-average season for the Mediterranean. This means more frequent storms, with rain-bearing systems tracking further south than usual, bringing moisture-laden clouds over cities that are more accustomed to winter sunshine. So, what does this mean for daily life? Expect more rain, especially in Spain and Italy, where streets that are usually bustling with outdoor cafes may see more umbrellas than sunglasses. The sound of raindrops on cobblestones could become a familiar winter soundtrack. For regions that have struggled with drought in recent years, this rainfall is welcome news. Reservoirs and rivers may finally get a much-needed boost. However, for those seeking a sunny winter escape, the increased cloud cover and frequent showers might come as a disappointment. Temperatures, on the other hand, are still expected to be relatively mild, especially in the eastern Mediterranean. Cities like Athens and Marseille will likely see comfortable days with only the occasional chilly breeze. This is because high-pressure systems and prevailing winds are forecast to block the coldest Arctic air from reaching this far south, keeping the region insulated from Europe's deep freezes. Still, the weather can be unpredictable. If the polar vortex, a swirling mass of cold air over the Arctic, weakens or shifts, it could allow rare bursts of frigid air to plunge southward. In those moments, cold air could sweep down unexpectedly, catching residents and travelers off guard. That's when you might see extraordinary sights. Snowflakes drifting over Madrid, or even palm trees dusted with white in coastal cities. A rare but magical event that locals talk about for years. Most of the time, though, the story will be one of mild temperatures and persistent rain, rather than deep freezes or blizzards. It's a season for raincoats, not parkas. Both residents and travelers should be prepared for frequent showers, pack an umbrella and waterproof shoes, and be ready to duck into cozy cafes when the skies open up. And don't be surprised by the occasional winter surprise like a sudden hailstorm or a brief, swirling snow flurry that vanishes as quickly as it arrives. One thing's for sure, the Mediterranean's winter will be anything but boring. From dramatic skies over ancient landmarks to the ever-changing rhythm of sun and rain, each day will bring something new. So, stay flexible. Weather conditions could shift quickly, and plans may need to change at a moment's notice. Adaptability will be your best friend this season. With all this in mind, let's take a closer look at the potential for extreme weather events and how they might shape the Mediterranean's winter ahead. Averages don't tell the whole story. This winter could swing from extreme cold to unusual warmth. La Niña plus a wobbly polar vortex means a higher risk of headline-making cold snaps and snowstorms. Major cold outbreaks can last a week or more, straining energy grids and disrupting travel. Heavy snow is possible where cold and moist air collide. Central Europe, the UK, and France are all at risk. These events are hard to predict far in advance, so stay updated with local forecasts. The big picture, be ready for volatility and surprises. Let's wrap up with how to prepare. That's your early look at Europe's winter 2025 to 2026, full of contrasts and surprises. La Niña is in charge, the polar vortex is the wild card, and every region has its own story. Now's the time to check your winter gear, prep your home, and stock up on essentials. Remember, this is an early forecast. Details will change, so stay tuned for updates. Knowledge is your best defense against wild weather. Whether you're hoping for snow, sun, or just a cozy season indoors, this winter will be memorable. I'll be here tracking every twist and turn. Stay warm, stay safe, and enjoy the season. See you next time.